Alright, hey fellow Highland Games throwers, John here today. I want to take a few minutes today to break down the sprint phase of the weight for distance. Had a few questions come up about this, so I want to really take time to break this down a little more in depth than usual and make sure people understand this concept and what to do to improve it. So the sprint phase is, first of all, is as I do my cast out of the back, this first turn, what I really want to think about is just getting rotational, just setting myself up to land, actually right, see these circles here? That's where my feet basically should land. I'm not too concerned about being overly closed off or opening up. Generally, I just think about landing neutral in this position, and I just call this the front squat position. So we're up tall and we're slightly loaded here. So as I do my turn, replace my left foot with my right into that position, both feet down basically as quickly as possible. I'm not too worried about trying to be high and low. I just want to sit in this position, especially if I'm throwing the 56. I need to make sure I can counter that weight, get this arm up, keep my head and upper body kind of neutral here. So as I catch this weight from back here, this is really important too, catch, and I'm really driving or sweeping the weight down and keeping my weight back for now. Basically until I hit my right hip, I'm keeping my weight just back and down, balanced between both legs. So I'm not starting to shift, not starting truly into my sprint phase. I'm still just rotating around, getting a big opening kind of running start into the throw, because no matter what, it's linear. I'm driving out and I'm throwing obviously for distance. So make sure I can cover that. So getting that weight here off of my hip. Then I'm gonna start to turn. Naturally, this foot is gonna turn. I'm gonna point this knee forward to start my sprint. After this hip, sweeping or pushing the weight out, kind of throwing it into the field. Right about here, I'll feel this point, and I'm starting to really shift my weight, staying in double support basically as long as I can. Double support meaning just on two legs as long as I can. It may seem counterintuitive, but as soon as I'm on one leg trying to balance, it's not so good. I want to drive, use the ground, because I can't accelerate the weight when I'm not on the ground. So I need to be able to drive, root my feet into the ground, have enough of a base into the ground to get that going. So I'm pushing my weight out through here, and now I'm gonna start into that final sprint phase. So I'm driving here, pushing the weight out, working with it. It's going from here out to here and in front. So I'm pushing it out. This knee is driving, I'm shifting and going here. Some people like to think about doing kind of a shrug out here. I don't really like that as much. I think that kind of causes this shoulder to be the driving force, where I'm just pushing this out, staying long still, not trying to shrug up in here. I'm letting my legs and hips do the work to drive me out this way. So push. Now I'm just gonna sprint, meaning I'm just driving towards the trig, trying to just throw myself forward over the trig even, the way I do this. Push the front of the board right up as fast and as violent as I can with my hips, not with my upper body. So my hips and legs just drive. I'm staying relatively low and loaded, pushing here, driving. Some people, again, talking, kind of breaking this down a little bit more for some diagnostic things. If you do need to land closed off, that's okay too. What that means is you tend to be someone who will land here and over rotate out of the corner like a lot of people do. If you're really driving hard and you tend to miss your low point, so that low point where that weight should be, we want it right off of the hip. If it's out here, that's going to affect the throw. A lot of people will land here and then they'll sprint too far out, and then the weight to really put it on the low point of the hip out here again will sweep and push the weight way out to the left side of the sector. If they're too blocked off and the weight is back here off of their kind of right foot or their right heel, the weight will be here. They'll cast it in and then they'll hit this corner out here, and then they'll be dragging it off of their heel. This is the common thing I see with this sprint drill that I'd really like to emphasize too. So casting, setting up in this figure 8, a lot of people will push it off of their back heel here. So it's a little more advanced, but stay with me here for a second. Off of this heel, and then they'll end up sprinting funny or really just driving over the shoulder. So the drill takes a lot of prep, a lot of time to work into as well. So making sure we're putting the right fundamentals into play. So if we're using this drill, I'll show you this in a second, we want to make sure this is setting up the same way as if we're just setting into motion here, driving there. We're just using this figure 8 to set this same starting point, and this drive through here off of this low point, push, 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 and then drive forward into the trig. Linear drive is equivalent to the sprint phase. So hopefully that really makes sense. So here's a little demo of what the sprint phase should look like here. See, I cast around, get this figure 8, and then big sprint. So there you have it. There's the sprint phase broken down for you in all those parts. Hope that helps.